radio shows are having the best week ever when it comes to getting in trouble for saying stupid stuff. So there's a station in Atlanta that has a morning show that said something stupid, got fired. You know, I don't know what I feel about it. You know, are we that sensitive that, you know, when you hear something on a rock station, you're so sensitive about it, you want to get them fired?
Well, it depends what they said. I mean,
does
it
does
depends.
it even matter, really? I mean, in the world of comedy, does it really matter?
Well, I mean, are they a comedy team? I mean, I think that's the problem with radio personalities. Like, that's the problem with us radio people, is like, we really walk the line. We're just regular people who happen to be funny sometimes. We're not comedians. So I don't think we can get away with the same stuff that like a comic can. A comic is commenting on the world through comedy. We're just idiots in front of microphones. That doesn't give us any special privilege or right. So I feel like again, it depends what they said. But I will say this, and I was over the weekend, I noticed that there was a particular celebrity who said something, I don't know, it was a comedian, and they said something kind of controversial-ish. I mean, I wasn't that offended by it. I mean, I understand why people were offended, but the people that were offended, like all my fellow older millennials, younger Gen Xers, I was like, dudes, you're the people who made sure that they did not censor rap music when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were so upset about censorship, yet we're the first people to like cancel somebody. You can't have both of those things. Like, you can't defend rap lyrics and say, you can't censor us. Rap music can say whatever they want. And then like 15 years later be like, oh, I'm offended.
It gets to the point where you're afraid to say anything, and it's going to be hard to entertain anybody because you're going to offend somebody at some point. And what these guys said, it wasn't, to me, it didn't offend me. It was trying to fill 4 hours every single day. I know their pain. And what they were talking about is if a celebrity could come back from the dead like Michael Jackson, and your kid was going to go stay with Michael Jackson for the weekend, but you could sue him later on in life, would you do it? Would you let your kid go there? And that's what they got fired for.
That's just bad radio. That's just dumb.
See, and that's the thing. It's bad radio. It's going somewhere you didn't really need to go. But is it a fireable offense to say something like that? It's a rock station. You're a morning show on a rock station. When did we get so cancel everything that people can't say anything?
Well, but you're basically talking about child abuse. Like, what the question really is would you let your child get abused?
You can break anything down, no.
That is offensive. You know, would you let your child get abused if you knew you can get paid for it later? Like, would you ruin your child's life and have them be traumatized and like triggered all the time and maybe have like messed up relationships because they were touched when they were children? Like, for money, like that's just stupid. Like, that's a dumb conversation, and I'm offended by that. You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there that were seriously abused as children, and they didn't get paid afterwards. And it's like, it's not okay. It's not okay to make jokes about that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm not offended by anything.
Well, you're not, but
that's my morning show that I listen to. I'm in their demo. They can say things like that. I mean, did Stern say things that pissed people off? Hell yeah.
And people are trying to retroactively cancel him for those times. You know, people are looking back at stuff that he said in the 80s, and they're like, cancel this bitch.
Yeah.
You know,
and he's making $150 million next year. So.
I know he doesn't care now, right? I understand.
Cancel me all you want.
I get it.
And then
I think that's an offensive and it's a stupid conversation, and it's offensive conversation. Would you let your child get sexually abused if you knew you'd get paid afterwards? That's just, I mean, I would call speaking of child services, I would be like, take the children away from these people, because that's messed up. That is messed up.
And there was another morning show in Minneapolis, I think, or somewhere that starts with an M, and they went after a station they were trying to get a job on. So the station they were trying to get a job on hired this girl with really no experience. They hired her to do the morning show, and she's not really that good in their eyes. So they ripped her apart on the air. But to me, that's radio. That's I've ripped
That's
people.
the lowest. If your bit on the radio is bullying other people, then you're just a bully. That's not radio. That's not funny. It happened to you and I. There was two idiots,
Right?
who said, but the difference was no one listened to them and nobody heard it. So it's not. It's still bullying. It's still stupid. It made them look stupid. It made them look bad.
Okay, but instead of going, oh, cancel them and crying and all that, get on the air and rip them. I mean, that's what I used to love about radio.
That's what radio used to be, right? But you know what? When men go after women, it's more than just bullying. It's misogyny. I mean, you can't do that. It's not okay anymore. And as a woman, as somebody that's been the target of that stuff, I'm glad that those days are over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of having to sit back and pretend like all that stuff is okay.
I still think there's a place for that kind of radio. I would rather hear that kind of radio than the right-wing radio that drives me insane.
I know. Look, I don't like that either.
So
I don't want them doing that either.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you know what? People don't want to hear the negativity anymore. We live in a world where everything is so divided and so negative. They're going to music stations because they want to listen to just the music and comment on the music and tell me a story about your day. If you're going to get on there and say disgusting things about your own children and bully women and be a misogynist, that's not entertaining. It's just more negativity. It's the opposite of why I'm coming to you.